The purpose of this screencast is to learn how to complete the Google Sheets task in the module that you're currently completing. We're going to cover how to use formulas within Sheets that can also be used in Microsoft Excel when you are calculating grades and other types of data with numbers. So let's take a look at the fake data that we have on the left here. They're just scores out of 100 points for each of the assignments on these days. And we need to figure out a total and then an average and a percentage. Let's figure out how to do that without having to manually add everything. One option that you can use to calculate the sum of these 5 cells is to just highlight them, find the sum function, click it, and then click enter. Simple as that. That calculates your sum. You can always use that formula if you are working with consecutive cells. And also, once you have that formula for one cell, you can copy it using Control-C, highlight the rest of the cells in which you want to apply that formula, and then do a Control-V to paste. It applies that formula to all of the cells. Easy for the sum. Let's look at the average. Now, if I want to put something in this column, it's going to be difficult for me to highlight these and have it apply to this column because it's not consecutive. So here I'm going to go to the function first. And then I'm going to select average. It's already predetermined for me. Let's take a closer look at this formula. Starts out with an equal sign and then has the name of the function which I want to apply. And in these parentheses, we need to add the cells of which we want to find the average. So I can select B2, hold my Shift key down because they're in consecutive order, select F2. You'll notice that inside the formula now we have a colon sign because the cells are consecutive, and I'll press enter. There's our average. Again, I can select this cell using Control-C, highlight the cells underneath, and do a Control-V to paste so that formula is applied to these rows. Lastly, I'm going to figure out the percentage. Now, in this particular instance, the percentage is the same as the average, but you're going to have instances where you're finding a percentage and not the average. So how do we do that when the function is not listed in this list? We can click on More Functions here, and this is a list of all of the different functions available in Google Spreadsheets. It's really overwhelming if you have never looked at or used functions or formulas before. But basically, this column shows what the cell needs to say. I'll sum it up for you. Let's go back here. So we know by looking at this formula that it starts with an equal sign and the name of the function. So here we're going to start with an equal sign, and I know that the name of the function is divide. It auto-populates, so I will select it. What do I want to divide? I want to divide the numbers in column G by 500 because that's the total. So I'm going to say G2. I'm going to use a comma, and then I'm going to say 500. And parenthesis, enter. There's my 0.9. I'm not really happy at looking at that. I want to be able to look at 90. So let me go back to this formula. Here it is up here. Equals divide, cell G2 divided by 500. Now I need to multiply it by 100. So we're going to use the symbol for multiply, which is the asterisk, and then we're going to type in 100. So there we go with the formula to find a percentage. It's the same number as your average, but two very different formulas to get to the same answer. Again, I'm going to copy the contents in this cell, highlight the cells below, and select Control-V to paste that formula in all of these cells. You'll notice when you paste that formula, now I can select here, and it says G6, which is this cell, G5, which is this cell. It auto-calculates that for you. Your task now is to add a name on the next available line, compose some fake data in columns B through F, and then use formulas to find the sum in column G, the average in column H, and the percentage in column I. Good luck!